Have you ever noticed that the more clothes we buy, the more it feels like we have nothing to wear? That is not a lack of pieces. It is an excess of noise. And the worst part? That noise is screaming a desperate woman trying to look elegant. But truly elegant women do not scream. They whisper sophistication. And today, I, Carol, will show you exactly the 5 fashion traps that are silently destroying your image. If you want to turn your elegance into something profitable, subscribe to the channel now, hit the bell icon, and leave a like. Because what I am about to reveal will completely change not only the way you see your wardrobe, but also the way others see you. I love beauty, and I have spent the last decade studying the visual codes of women who inspire envy wherever they go. And I can assure you, they are not making the mistakes you are about to discover. In fact, they do exactly the opposite. And that is why they are remembered, while others are just another face in the crowd. So let us get straight to the point. The first trap. You think you are developing your personal style, but in reality, you are just following whatever is fashionable right now. And that illusion is costing you far more than money. It is costing you your visual identity. We do not have our own taste. We think we do. But the harsh truth is that we are being manipulated by trend cycles that are faster, more invasive, and more invisible than ever. Think about it. In the 1960s, the beauty ideal was twiggy, skinny, androgynous, almost childlike. Just 10 years earlier, in the 1950s, it was Marilyn Monroe, curvy, sensual, ultra-feminine. 2 completely opposite extremes, right? But you know the brutal difference between that era and now? Those cycles used to last for decades. A woman could build her wardrobe, her visual identity, and it would remain relevant for years. Today, a trend is born and dies within weeks. Literally weeks, sometimes days. In 2021, everyone owned chunky sneakers, those huge dad sneakers that looked like you stole them from your father in the 90s. Today, ballet flats and cowboy boots, fur coats, once considered unethical and politically incorrect for years, came roaring back after the mob wife aesthetic went viral on TikTok, and suddenly everyone wanted to look like Tony Soprano's wife. Vegetable oils became health villains overnight because some fitness influencer decided so. And the word demure? No one, absolutely no one, used that word in daily vocabulary. Until suddenly, everyone was saying it 6 times per sentence as if it had always been part of their lexicon. That is not style evolution. That is mass manipulation disguised as self-discovery. And here lies the crucial point that separates you from truly elegant women, the ones who walk into a room and make everyone look. While you are chasing the next trend so you do not seem out of touch, they are building a timeless wardrobe based on what works for them, not on what is trending on Instagram this week. Ordinary women buy trends. Elite women build a visual signature. See the difference? One is always trying to become something. The other already is something. The next trap is cruel. Because it seems harmless, it even seems smart. But it is draining your money and your visual credibility. Second trap. You are buying classics that are not truly classic. And the fashion industry knows exactly how to deceive you with that narrative. Let me give you the perfect example, one that will make you question every investment you have ever made. The white shirt. Everyone says the white shirt is an absolute classic, timeless, essential, the kind of piece every elegant woman should have in her closet. And in theory, that is true. But here's the dirty little trick no one tells you, the one the fashion industry never admits. The white shirt of 2025 is completely different from the white shirt of 2015. The one now is oversized, structured, with shoulder pads, puffed sleeves, an open collar that goes almost halfway down the bust, a creative CEO in a Harper's Bazaar editorial vibe. The one from 2015 was fitted to the body, with stretch fabric, a traditional collar, pearl buttons, very much that early 2000s movie lawyer aesthetic. Both were sold as timeless pieces. Both promised to be versatile, sophisticated wardrobe staples. Both carried that mental tag of worth the investment. But a decade later, one of them has become a dated uniform. And the other? It is headed in the same direction soon. How is that possible if both were eternal? Here is the inconvenient truth. Even the basics, even the so-called classics, even the pieces sold to you as forever still follow fashion cycles. The only difference is that now they come in a more sophisticated package, a more refined language, a marketing speech about investment, when in reality, they are still just another product of the fashion cycle with an emotional expiration date. And by observing truly wealthy women, the ones who inherited sophistication, not just money, I realize something. They do not buy the trendy white shirt. They buy the white shirt that flatters their body, that serves their lifestyle, that fits into their visual signature. period. If you have broad shoulders and a small bust like Charlize Theron, maybe the loose masculine-style shirt works beautifully. But if you have delicate curves and a petite frame like Emilia Clarke, that model will swallow you whole. It will look like a costume, not clothing. Now that fitted shirt from 2015, perfect. It gives structure, it balances, it beautifies. See the crucial difference? Elite women do not follow trends. They extract what is useful from them. They are not afraid of looking out of fashion because they know true elegance never depends on what is in the store window this week. While you are buying what everyone else is wearing, they are buying what only they can wear with authenticity. And that is exactly why they look unique, while everyone else looks like a copy. Now, the third one, and this one hurts because everyone falls for it. Third trap. You are buying for a life that is not yours. And that means money wasted, closet space wasted, and most importantly, you dressing like a character instead of a person. I made this mistake for years, so I can speak with authority about the pain of looking at a closet full of beautiful clothes that you never wear. I bought 10 pairs of gorgeous, expensive high heels, influenced by those perfect photos of women walking through airports wearing white blazers, nude pumps, and Louis Vuitton carry-ons. That image of the sophisticated, busy, global woman who is always between one destination and another, doing everything with elegance. The problem? My real routine is driving, waiting in supermarket lines, running 1,000 errands on foot through uneven sidewalks, and occasionally rushing to an event after work. Those heels are still in their boxes, untouched, staring at me as if to say, "Why did you buy me?" While the same 3 pairs of flats and comfortable boots are in eternal rotation because they work. You know that tiny, ultra-chic Jacquemus bag that every influencer is wearing? Beautiful, Instagrammable, iconic. But if your phone does not fit in it, if your wallet does not close, if you need to carry at least lipstick, keys, and a card, what is the real point? You will spend the entire day irritated, holding half your belongings in your hand because they do not fit in the bag that cost a fortune and that you bought because it was the bag of the moment. Suede loafers are incredibly elegant, giving that aura of an English heiress strolling through her family's garden. But if you live in Seattle, where it rains 300 days a year, they will be ruined in the first week. Literally ruined, stained, destroyed. Women who truly make a good impression, who are remembered for their elegance, not their effort, do not buy based on what looks good in a photo. They buy based on what looks beautiful and functional for their real life. And that is a huge fundamental difference that separates those who only seem elegant from those who are elegant. Because true elegance is not about sacrifice. It is not about silently suffering in uncomfortable heels. It is not about carrying a bag that does not work. Elegance is about visual intelligence. It is about making choices that make sense. A truly elegant woman does not dress to impress. She dresses to communicate status, and she does it comfortably. The fourth one will make you rethink every online purchase you have ever made. Fourth trap. You are throwing money at terrible quality, thinking you are getting a good deal. And the math behind that illusion is brutal once you actually calculate it. I remember perfectly when I was in college, that phase when every penny counts, when there is no money for anything unnecessary, and I walked into a department store. I found a beautiful blouse, well cut, looked expensive, displayed in the window under perfect lighting like it was the piece of the century. I bought it. I wore it. I washed it once, one time. The button fell off, the seam opened on the side. The fabric lost all its life, looking like an old dishcloth. It looked as if I had worn that blouse for 5 years when I had only washed it once. That was the last time I ever shopped there. The silent elite understands this deeply. They do not have massive closets. They have strategic ones. Pieces that last for years, that get better with time, that can be taken to a tailor for small adjustments as their body changes. Ordinary women accumulate volume. The elite cultivates quality. And before I show you the fifth trap, the most dangerous of all, because it seems empowering but actually makes you completely invisible, I need to tell you something that completely changed my life. It was only when I stopped buying what was trendy and started studying the visual codes of the silent elite that my image began to work for me. Not in an obvious way, not in a loud way, in a subtle, powerful, transformative way. And that changed absolutely everything. My opportunities, my income, my networking, the way people treat me in professional settings, the respect I receive in social situations, the doors that open simply because my visual presentation communicates something specific. That is exactly why I created the course Look Rich Without Spending Much. It is not about showing off. It is not about logos. It is not about pretending to be someone you are not. It is about presence, discretion, Silent prestige. Because a woman who dresses intelligently, who understands visual codes, who masters the nonverbal language of elegance, opens doors that no amount of money can buy. She is invited to tables where decisions are made. She is remembered when opportunities appear. She is respected before she even speaks. In the course, you will learn exactly which pieces to buy, how to combine them in unexpected ways, where to save without looking cheap, and where to invest for maximum impact. You will discover the invisible details, those micro signals that separate an ordinary appearance from a memorable one. The course is currently at a promotional price, and honestly, if you want to be treated differently, to receive better opportunities, to make the right impression in the right places without spending a fortune trying, you need this course. The link is in the description. Take advantage of this price while it lasts. This investment will pay for itself the very first time you are treated differently simply because of the way you presented yourself. Now, let us move on to the worst one of all. The one that seems empowering, modern, and liberating, but is actually making you invisible. Fifth trap. You are not wearing your own story. You are wearing someone else's. And that is completely erasing your identity. Let me show you exactly what I mean by that, because it is subtle, invisible, and that is what makes it so dangerous. There are viral videos on TikTok right now, with millions of views, where girls show pictures of how they dressed 3, 4, or 5 years ago. They call it "before I found my personal style," make horrified faces, laugh at themselves. Then they show how they dress today, striking a pose as if they have finally found themselves, confidently saying, "Now I've found my identity. Now I know who I am." The problem? When you watch these videos carefully, with a critical eye, you notice a disturbing pattern. The before is simply what was in fashion 3 or 4 years ago. And the after, that supposed moment of self-discovery, is just what is in fashion today. There is absolutely nothing personal about that style. It is just an old trend versus a new one. One algorithm replacing another. The same thing happened with makeup, and here the pattern becomes even more obvious. Girls who spent years drawing thick, dark eyebrows in 2018, following tutorials, buying specific products, convinced that was the look, now look back horrified. How could I ever think that was pretty? After I did that, you know what happened? My wardrobe shrank. Today, I only have basic clothes. Black, white, gray, beige. Simple pieces of good quality. Because I don't need to hide anything anymore with flashy clothes or exaggerated accessories. I solved the root of the problem, so now I can be minimalist. And minimalism, my dear, is the pinnacle of sophistication. Elegance is what's left when you remove everything unnecessary. This phrase changed my life, and it will change yours too. Now, if you're thinking, "Carol, this is all great, but I want to go deeper into this," I have something for you. I created the course, Look Rich Without Spending Much. Exactly for women who want to understand the invisible codes of rich women, because there are things that go far beyond what I can teach you here on the channel. They're visual, behavioral, social codes. They're details of body language, of how you enter a room, of how you communicate without saying a word. This course will teach you to be treated differently, because when you master these codes, people see you differently, treat you differently, respect you differently. It's not about deceiving anyone. It's about communicating who you really are in a way the world understands and values. You know that feeling of entering a place and realizing people underestimated you? That ends, because you'll be emitting the right signals. The signals that rich women emit naturally, but that you can learn. In the course, I teach you everything from how to choose colors that make you look more expensive, to how to behave in high-level social situations, how to greet important people, how to conduct yourself at an elegant party, how to accept compliments with class, how to create a presence that people respect, and even intimidates a little. The link is in the description. If you're tired of being invisible, of being underestimated, of not being taken seriously, this course was made for you. And look, I'm not going to lie, there's an investment. But it's the kind of investment you make once and reap the rewards forever. Because once you learn these codes, nobody takes them away from you. They're yours. For life. Going back to what I was saying, these 7 revelations aren't just beauty tips. They're life strategies. Because when you understand that elegance isn't in the price of the clothes, but in the quality of the presentation, everything changes. You stop comparing yourself to rich bloggers who get paid to show expensive clothes. You stop thinking you need to have the sneaker of the moment to be accepted. You stop burning money on things that add nothing. And you know what's funny? The less I spend on nonsense, the more sophisticated I look. Because sophistication doesn't shout, it whispers. It's in the details nobody consciously notices, but everyone feels. It's in well-cared-for hair, in clothes that fit perfectly, in the absence of visual noise, in the confidence of someone who knows exactly who they are. And here's what nobody tells you about truly elegant women. They don't try to impress everyone. They choose who they want to impress. And that selection is, in itself, an act of power. When you stop trying to please everyone, you automatically level up, because people of true status don't care about anyone's opinion. Only those they choose matter. Rich women have known this for centuries. While everyone is chasing the latest trend, they're investing in what's eternal. While everyone is spending on appearance, they're investing in essence. And that's why they always seem to be on another level, because they are. Not because of the money they have, but because of what they know. And you can know too. You don't need money to have clean, well-cared-for hair. You don't need money to choose clothes that favor your body. You don't need money to have clean nails and well-cared-for teeth. You don't need money to develop a coherent personal style. What you need is awareness, strategy, understanding the game. Now pay attention, because this changes everything. The truth is this: the industry wants you to believe you need to spend to be beautiful. But I'm here to tell you that the most beautiful women I know aren't the ones who spend the most. They're the ones who understand the most. And understanding has no price. It has value, a lot of value. You'll remember this at your next social event, mark my words. When you arrive somewhere and realize you're more elegant than women who spent triple, you'll understand the power of these silent tricks. Because they work at the perception level, and perception is everything. So stop chasing everything that shines. Stop thinking the next purchase will make you happy. Stop comparing yourself to people who have a different reality. Focus on what you can control now, today, without spending a penny. Because I guarantee, these silent tricks will put you ahead of 90% of women out there. And you'll notice the difference. People will notice the difference. This is where the elegant separate from the tryhards. The tryhard spends to impress. The elegant one simply is, and everyone notices. Without apparent effort, without anxiety, without that desperate energy of someone trying to prove something. You know what I realized over the years? That true elegance intimidates. Not in an aggressive way, but in a way that makes people automatically respect you. They don't know exactly why, but they feel you're different, that you're on another level. And the less you try to prove it, the stronger the effect. The striving middle class needs constant external validation. That's why they buy logos, follow trends, make a point of showing price, brand, label. The elite doesn't need validation because the validation is already internalized. They know who they are, and that certainty radiates. Now, a challenge for you. Open your closet today and answer honestly. Is there any piece there that you bought just to look rich? That brand blouse you hardly ever wear because deep down it doesn't match anything? Those uncomfortable shoes you bought because they were in fashion? That bag you paid for in 12 installments just to have a logo? If you answered yes, maybe those pieces are preventing you from looking truly elegant, because they carry the energy of effort, of anxiety, of trying. And elegance is exactly the opposite. It's ease, it's naturalness, it's absence of apparent effort. Elegance is what's left when you remove everything unnecessary, and that includes unnecessary clothes, unnecessary accessories, unnecessary efforts. When you clean, when you simplify, when you reduce to the essential, that's when your true essence appears. And your essence is infinitely more interesting than any designer logo. Before I finish, I want to extend an invitation. If you're enjoying this type of content, if you're learning things that really make a difference in your life, if you want to be part of a community of women who value real elegance instead of superficial appearance, consider becoming a channel member. Starting at $4.99 per month, you support this work and still get access to exclusive content that I can't put on the open channel. Just click the Become a Member button down here. Your contribution makes all the difference for me to continue bringing this kind of real content, without frills, without coach talk, without miraculous promises. Just real strategy, sharp observation, and truths nobody else has the courage to speak. Elegance is a daily choice. It's choosing to care for the details when nobody is watching. It's choosing quality over quantity. It's choosing consciousness over impulse. And every time you make these choices, you're investing in the woman you want to become, without spending anything, just using intelligence and strategy. And that's exactly what separates women who look rich from women who are just well-dressed. It's not the price of the clothes, it's the clarity of intention. It's the care with details. It's the deep understanding that impression can't be bought, it's built, and it's built every day in every small choice you make. So next time you're about to buy that trendy piece just because everyone is wearing it, remember this conversation. Ask, will this make me more elegant or just more in debt? Does this solve a real problem or just mask it for a few weeks? Am I building a style or just following the herd? Because at the end of the day, the truly elegant woman isn't the one who has more. It's the one who needs less. And the sooner you understand this, the faster you'll stop throwing money away and start investing in the most sophisticated version of yourself, without spending an extra penny, just using what you already have in the smartest way possible. And look, I know some of you are thinking, but Carol, I want to be elegant, but I also want to have a life. I want to buy new things from time to time. I completely understand. I also buy new things. The difference is that now I buy with strategy, not with anxiety. I buy because that piece will complete my wardrobe, not because it's in the window. I buy because it will last years, not because it's on sale. This mindset shift from anxious consumption to strategic consumption is what separates indebted women from elegant women. And it has nothing to do with how much money you have. It has to do with how much self-knowledge you have, with how much control you have over your impulses, with how much you understand the game of social perception. Because elegance, in the end, is about control. Control of your image, control of your choices, control of the narrative you're telling about who you are. And when you have that control, you have power. The power to be seen exactly as you want to be seen. The power to be treated exactly as you want to be treated. The power to enter any environment and belong, not because you're trying to fit in, but because you know exactly who you are. And that's the real luxury. Not the expensive bag, not the designer shoes, not the imported car. The real luxury is the freedom to be yourself with so much confidence that nobody questions it. It's the freedom to not need to prove anything to anyone. It's the freedom to know you're fine exactly as you are and improve because you want to, not because you need to. So here's the reflection. Are you building elegance or buying anxiety? Are you investing in yourself or spending on external validation? Are you creating a style or copying trends? Because the answer to these questions will determine not only how you spend your money, but how you live your life. And if you made it this far, thank you. Thank you for giving me your attention, your time, your trust. I hope this video has given you not only practical tips, but also a new way of thinking about elegance, about consumption, about who you want to be in the world. See you in the next video where we'll continue this conversation about how to live well, with style, without drama, and without going broke in the process.